Hey there, Floss Tube. This is Cathy, the hands-on designer. I'm here in the studio today to kind of bring you a little bit of a market wrap-up. I'm purposely wearing some maybe springier colors because it is currently snowing its behind off again, and I'm done with winter. This afternoon, at some point, I'm going upstairs to banish all of the snowmen and snow decorations that are out of my house. Kind of get the bad juju out of there and put some spring stuff up already, and maybe Mother Nature will take a look. But anyway, I wanted to do a little market wrap up. I did one last year and kind of a little name dropping, a little this is what happened, that sort of thing, just do my job. You will see me occasionally take a sip because I did come home sick this year. As I said in an earlier post, there is nothing cute and about an acute sinus infection. Late Sunday afternoon, a few people, shop owners, friends, whatever, were saying to me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. I didn't know what they were talking about. And then later I went and looked in the mirror in the bathroom and went, oh, I get it. My sinuses were like starting to swell around my eyes, and I mean, I have that mid-50s, you know, smile where my eyes thing going on, but now my eyes were really puffy because of my sinuses, and I didn't quite feel it yet, but oh man, did I later that day. So yeah, so I'm on medication. It's all good. We're getting better. So much to talk about though. Before I do that though, I want to just say a few thanks. I kind of feel like this is my Academy Award, you know, speech moment. I'll keep it brief. And this is probably going to be a slightly longer video than some of my normal videos, just because, excuse me, I do have a lot to talk about, but I will try and keep it moving. Would like to say a few thanks just to some people, just to kind of put it out there in the universe. Number one, I would like to thank my husband because he comes with me to market, and we're in Nashville, actually Franklin, suburb of Nashville. So a lot of you maybe have been online and seen a lot of the pictures, all the fun things going on. Bill comes with me every year, and he's a trooper. He is my number one fan. He's my number one, I don't know, he's my number one. I don't know what else to say. He has fun. Don't ever let him tell you any differently. He has fun at market. He loves talking to the ladies. He loves talking to the shops. He loves it when they remember his name. He soaks it all in. So what I love about it is that he knows that, number one, that's kind of hard for me sometimes at market because I'm sort of putting my babies out there, but he also knows it's part of my job to be out there and talking with shop owners and other designers and just, you know, working, just, I don't know, doing whatever it is I need to do. And he makes sure he's behind the scenes getting everything done so that I can go do my job. And he allows me, you know, he doesn't allow me, but, you know, he does what he needs to happen because he allows me the freedom to just kind of not worry, is he okay? But to go do what I need to do. And thanks, babe. Also, my local stitching peeps, you guys know who you are. I've known some of these women for 20 plus years, ever since I've started in the biz as a shop owner. And they're just there. I don't even have to ask. They just sometimes literally show up. They packed 9,000 bunny butts. They packed thousands of charts. All I had to do was feed them. So they're just there. You know, sometimes I have to ask, and like I said, sometimes they just show up. And we are, like, I've known this group for a long time. We support each other. We've seen each other through all different phases of life, and they're a fantastic group. And thanks, guys. And my not so local stitching people, Penny and Tracy and Judy, you all know who you are, and they're my stitchers, but they're more than just stitchers. They're friends. They're the people sometimes that hold me a little accountable, like, did you really mean that? And but again, not just stitchers, but friends. I have a really good team. And also 2 other special ladies, Tracy from Ink Circles and Beth from Summer House Stitchworks. I work with both of these ladies a lot on several different occasions, whether it's a collaboration or just bouncing ideas or just visiting. And the 3 of us held another class again this year, and we did a really fun piece. Well, I didn't want to call it fun. It just, to me, it takes my breath away. You won't see it for another couple months. The class sold out. We had 30 individuals. Some were shops, some here in the States, some Netherlands, UK, and Australia. And they got an opportunity to have an exclusive chart that you'll hear about later. So I'm so excited for you to see that coming down the road. But they're beautifully talented women who I just adore, and I love working with them. And don't ever tell our husbands, but when we have those 2-hour Skype work sessions, it's usually maybe about like 15 to 20 minutes of work, and the rest is just catching up. So thanks. I love the fact that technology keeps us all connected. So anyway, so I should probably move on. But yeah, I can't even believe a week ago we were there and working and selling and talking to shops and visiting and getting sick and all that kind of good stuff. So I had about 8 new releases this year, kicked off a couple of series, some that you've talked about and seen and whatnot. My whole counter here is just, I'm going to kind of wing this a little bit, sorry. I'm just going to intersperse just different things. So sit back, go with it, keep stitching. When I show things, you might want to look up if you feel the need to. Talk amongst yourselves. But okay, so Scary Apothecary was a series that I kicked off at Nashville, and I've shown these little pieces: Bat Bomb, Zing for your wing, Bitter Brew for a foul scowl, and Broomstick Fuel. Broom, broom. You have to say it like that, by the way. Anyway, kicked off the series. I had all 9 on display there. So if you kind of peek around on social media, you'll get some glimpses of the other 6. These will come out about in sets of 3. They're all individual charts, but sets of 3 about every 6 weeks. So we have 2 more releases to go. I haven't put it up yet, but I will put a template for the finishing of these. Again, Krynic braid. Number 4, Krynic braid for all of them. And then the entire color palette is Classic Colorworks, the non-sparkly, scary sparkle, sorry, it's been a long week. Scary sparkle part is the Krynic braid. And then the linen, I used Winter Wishes from Hand Dyed Fabric, or Fabrics by Stephanie. So it's just a great color. I love this color. So lots of fun. Now, I did do a complimentary. I always do a complimentary design at market, and this year I did Favorite Brew. And right now, this is only available at shops that went to market. So go contact those shops, your local shop, whoever's having a market special right now. They have been sent, they've been given a hard copy, plus they've also been sent a PDF of this chart. So I'm not putting it on a blog or the other usual places that I post complimentaries just yet. I will eventually, but a lot of them have chosen to kit it with some of the fun little embellishments. Lady Dot, what can I say about Lois? She's another person that I need to thank a whole lot. But Lady Dot brought her Jack Rickrack and then also the Fun Ladies. I don't know. I could go on and talk about all the other women in this industry. It's just crazy. Just Another Button Company did a new pin mini trio of pins called Favorite Brew, same name as the chart. And so what you'll see, a lot of shops have grouped this together with the Favorite Brew pin mini, and then the Lady Dot Jack Rick Rack. And then I did have a few of the wool felt balls that were available for sale at market. Those are available through a lot of Etsy shops. Those were limited quantity. What I did is I was cleaning out a closet, okay? And I grouped them in packs for shops to make little finishing kits. And what we did with that one is I think we raised about, I did $1 a pack. And I had enough packs. I think we made about $75. And that money we are donating to our local Special Olympics chapter. So that's kind of one of those, I'm not restocking them. I was just trying to clean out a little space on my shelf and raise a little money in the process too. So, but you're able to kind of find the little wool felt balls at various Etsy shops or hobby stores or things like that, or talk to your shop and they probably have them. So that was the little complimentary. So that was Scary Apothecary. Kind of what's fun along the way. My friend Beth from Summer House, she traveled by herself this year, and she went, sorry, I'm crinkling. She stopped at a couple, she took 2 days to drive, and she stopped at a couple antique shops along the way. And it's funny how, you know, you get to know different people and they kind of go, I saw this and I thought of you. I got so many random, I saw this and I thought of you kind of gifts. It just makes me, I don't know, it makes me smile to think that I guess people are thinking of me not at market or not at work, and obviously kind of good thoughts, so they're not thinking bad thoughts. But she she kept sending me this message, and my husband and I were trying to get lunch. We were also on the road, and he wanted my attention on something, and I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at this text, and he's like, who's texting you? I said, Beth, what's she texting you? You're gonna see her soon. I'm like, she's texting me about vintage scissors because that's important. So she found me these really cool vintage scissors. They're widths, but they were displayed so beautifully. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but it was very important at the time that we discussed these scissors. So thank you, Beth. But also in the realm of people thinking about me at random times, it's kind of like Nashville. It's kind of like Christmas. Jenny from Cross My Heart. It's a shop in Ohio. Fun ladies. Emily, Carol, Jenny, and oh my gosh, I'm doing totally blank on her name, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to bring her up later. She brought me this. You're going, what the heck is that? It's a tin. It's an iron, and she said she saw it someplace, and she thought of me. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm an old iron. I don't know. But it was after I released the Laundry Company series, the 3 charts that came out at market last year, and she, I think she used it as a little display at the shop to put those magnetic needle nannies on, and then, but she gave it to me, and she's like, for your laundry room. She goes, I don't know if it's gonna go with your laundry. I'm like, heck no, that goes with my laundry room. I love it. So I can hide lots of stuff in there. So anyway, thank you, Jenny, very much. So let's do some, show you something else that came out. It's right here in front of me. 1 second, I'm going to stop. I forgot to get a thing. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. What I wanted to show you was more chocolate bunnies. This was one of the new releases. The saying says life needs more chocolate bunnies, but I just titled the chart More Chocolate Bunnies. I just feel like that kind of says it all. And that is where all the little bunny button butts had to be packed, because you get 6 of them in your chart pack. It's so funny. I guess you can kind of tell, I don't know, when I was raised or something like that, because I did a post about bunny button butts, and I really had to think, should I say butt? That just sounds, I don't know. I mean, with everything that people say, I'm worried about saying the word butt, but you know, we didn't say that when I was growing up. But this was, the model was stitched with the Sulky of America cotton petites, the 12 weight cotton petites. And the Sulky people were wonderful and made up thread packs for me, and I had these available at the show for shops to purchase. So I don't know what different shops are going to retail them for, and I'm not going to say that. They're very reasonably priced, probably anywhere from $11 to $13. You're getting 8 complete spools of the Sulky 12 weight cotton petite. This is stitched on 32 count. I used 1 strand. This has major yardage, and these are great colors. So you're gonna have extra, and it's great to add to your stash. I feel like they're very affordable. Yes, I do give DMC substitutes, as in all of my charts, I give DMC substitutes. The DMC is always listed if there's a color name and then there's a parentheses behind it. The DMC is that number right there. I've been getting a lot of questions about that lately. I don't know why. But the part of the reason why I don't necessarily flash the DMC is because I work with thread companies to develop things like this, and that's kind of who I really want to promote out there as far as who I used in the model, whether that's a hand-dyed thread company or something like this. I understand not everybody necessarily wants to use a new thread or fiber or whatever. That's why I offer also the DMC substitutes. So that's what that number is there. And that's pretty much on any chart I've ever done. Only one series have I ever not included a DMC substitute, and that was my original Year in Chalk, the monthly cards, because there were only 2 colors in each of those, and one of that was a white. Okay, so I didn't do DMC substitutes there because pretty much most everybody, I think, changed a lot of those colors anyway. So Sulky, I do have more these designs planned this year using the Sulky. I think it's lovely thread. And thanks to Jason and the whole group at Sulky for packaging these up. This is something that shops can order from me, and I'll always have them. We're actually sold out of our first round. These were so popular, I didn't know how many to order, so I ordered them out, and then I doubled my order, and then I had to call them back right before market and say, I need more. So we actually have sold out of those. I've got more coming next week. So it's something I'll always have in stock, and so shops are always able to get it. So I just felt like it just was a nice little, it's kind of got a matte twisted finish. I just really like the dense, deep color, but yet it's soft, and working with 1 strand. Now, this is again on a 32 count. You would also be okay 1 strand on a 36 count if you want to make it smaller. If you want to go bigger, like a 24 count or 14, try 2 strands. It might be a little, 1 strand might be a little thin unless that's what you want to look for. But Jason has said, I have not tried it, but I will. Jason said he has had many stitchers stitching 2-ply, and you have plenty of thread on here. And that's a fun way to start building a collection of some awesome colors. So that's more chocolate bunnies. Your buttons for little bunny button butts are included. Sorry, I said butts, Mom. But anyway, a fun finish. I'm calling this the finish of 2019 for me. Standard size frame, mat board, or excuse me, foam core covered with the fun fabric, coordinating fabric. There's 2 pieces here, the one on the front and then of course the one on the back that I covered also with a fun fabric, and then included the Tim Holtz clip like that. That's actually clipped right through the foam core. And then always experiment and try something different with your bows. That's where you kind of can incorporate some texture and not be afraid to mix colors and mix patterns and textures and things like that. So there you go. That is more chocolate bunnies, because life needs more chocolate bunnies, I think. So I'm going to put this over here. You should see my counter. It's full. So should I do another piece? Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this. Another fun gift from a shop owner. Lindy at the Silver Needle popped in to pick up her order, and she was worried about offending me, and I don't hope this doesn't offend anybody else, so avert your eyes for just a moment. But she gave me this. It's like oilcloth. It's a zippered work bag. I'm sorry, that made me giggle. And apparently she also has them in socks too. So the Silver Needle, if you want to order one, because you know who you are, she's got them there, and socks too. So that was fun to get. I think she was a little nervous about giving it to me, seeing how I'd react, and I just busted out laughing. It was hilarious. And then we had the big, anyway, it was fun. Get this from shops who attend. I'm sorry, I'm kind of scattered. I'm looking at everything kind of around me. This is a cookbook that was published for specifically people that attended Nashville Market. It's available right now only through shops that attended. And then I think later it's going to go up for general distribution. They used to do a cookbook years ago. In fact, I still have some of those, and we got talking about it in one of our Facebook groups. And it's called Happiness is Homemade, and on the back you can see the list of everybody who contributed, and it's designers and shops. There's pictures in here. There are complimentary little charts in there. Some coordinate with the recipe, because I think I put a cookie recipe in, and then I made a little chart that said cookies on it. Also the soup that I make for my friends a lot when they come over for stitching is in here too, as well as a picture. So I think this is a fun little reference. I hope they do it again. It was a lot of fun. So, okay. Now, let's talk about cats and dogs. Block Party. Block Party was a series I did a couple years ago, and we had about 6 or 7 designs. I literally had people email me and say, okay, I've done all the block parties now. You can design a new one. I love it. So of course I had to. And I always wanted to do a cat or a dog one, but of course I couldn't do dogs without doing the cats, or cats without doing the dogs. So I had to do them both. I'll talk about the dogs first. The chart itself comes with the little patch of Weeks Dye Works wool. It's larger than you need, so you'll want to cut that down to fit in here. There is a tutorial on my website how to finish it. You can follow along online on the pictures, or you can print out the PDF. They are very simple to put together. Just Another Button Company, my friends, made me this awesome little pin set. I've based all of these actually on a 4-letter word, a nice 4-letter word. And this one was woof. And then they did the little, am I doing it right? Little heart with the paw print in it. And we've got the doggies on the top. And what's nice about this is if you can change the colorways of the doggie to make it more personal to your own doggie. Now, with each of the block parties, I've always had some component on the four sides, because you stitch this, and you have a square on the bottom, and then you stitch the side panels all separately, and then you put them all together. There's always been some kind of component that's been similar on the 4 sides, but all 4 sides are always different, because I get bored stitching and I don't want to stitch the same thing 4 times. So with this particular one, it's the dog house is on the 4 corners. And of course you see we had to split that dog house down the middle. But there are different types of dogs on either side. I put some maybe slightly more generic looking dogs, so it would be easy to change the color to go with your type of dog. That's the thing with dogs is people want their breed, and there are so many breeds out there. I was getting emails from people, well, did you put I had never even heard of that type of dog. Did you put that on there? I'm like, no. I put a few kind of, like I said, what I sort of call the, you can add a little patch here, there, or whatever to kind of make it look more like your dog. Then I've got some dogs that definitely, are kind of my favorites. And then I just love that poodle. And then of course that's my sweet Cathy right there. See, she's right down there right now, lying on the nice heated floor. She's not a dumb dog. Anyway, so that's my Cathy. And we've got all, they've got their tennis balls and footballs and baseballs and all the little bandanas. And then what they're standing on, you can see the green kind of represents the grass, and then you've got the dirt, and then you've got the bones buried underneath. So again, love my dogs, had to do the dogs, and tutorial online. And then you've got your cats. And so when you're the designer, you get to work your own pets into it. So while the cat on top of Meow, and again you can see, sorry, my buttons got a little moved around here. Meow, and then the little fish bowl. Oh, Cecile did an amazing job with that fish bowl. The wool is again included. Now the cat's on top, they're all kind of giving the hairy eyeball to the mouse right there. They again are very similar, so you can change out the cat colorations to kind of go with your color, your cat. This is my Whisker. This is my Ziza. That was my cat Ashes, who we had for about 20 years. And then color's a little off, but that's representative of my son's cat, Olivia. So we kind of adopt her when she comes and to visit. And we always say, can Olivia come visit? You guys come too. She's a very sweet cat. But anyway, so remember what I was saying, how when I do these, there's always some component on the four sides that's similar. Well, I didn't really do that with the cats because I thought cats don't do anything like other cats. They all have kind of tendencies, but I don't know. Cats are their own. Cats are just their own. What can I say? So here we have a cat in the box, and this one happens to be in the cheese box, and we have the little mouse looking at him like, dude, get out of our cheese box. So we've got playing with the fish bowl. That was the inspiration behind the pin that Cecile made. And playing with that crazy yarn. Oh, isn't that temptation? And then of course over here, we've got, they're visiting the mouse house. And now, so there is just one little component that's the same. I always like to do a border along the bottom, and we've got the fish scales there. So both super fun designs. We were having kind of a contest, who would win, the cats or the dogs. I do not have numbers yet, you know, who was more popular. Some shops, it was definitely a dead heat. And some shops, it was definitely, oh, you were a dog shop or you're a cat shop. So when we get the final market orders out and everything, I'll let you know. I'll let you know who won. Of course, you know, they're both winners. The cats and the dogs, that is. So I'm so glad that everybody, it was a year of dogs and cats. It was definitely an animal year at market this year. That was definitely a trend that I saw. Bunnies, I saw a lot of bunnies. Cats and dogs, I saw a lot of cats and dogs. Scarlett, Tanya, oh my gosh, I can't remember. She had some adorable dog designs too, that also used pins. Just lots of cats and dogs out there. I like when trends like that kind of happen. Speaking of which, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Sometimes I'm able to acquire a pattern or two because I like to stitch other designs. I like to kind of, you know, not always just stitch my own. But I had been talking with Cecilia from Heart and Hand beforehand. We were talking about the invasion of bunnies at this year's market. And it's always fun when that kind of a theme sort of emerges. Like I said, I saw dogs everywhere. And I, you know, it's not like we talk about that stuff. There is no main clearinghouse for okay, this year you have rabbits and you have 12 days and you have, there's nothing like that. It just sort of happens. So Cecilia came down. I wasn't able to get up. I wasn't able to leave the room a whole lot, but she came down and dropped off the pattern. We had talked a little bit about it before market. And I told her, I said, make sure you save one for me, please. So I will be stitching this one right away because I just think I just love him. That's just so cute. And I like the little tassel on his, coming from behind his neck. So we kind of joked and we were talking about something and we said, yeah, we think there's going to be kind of a bunny invasion. Which I'll tell you a funny story about a bunny invasion. Dreama owns Needlecraft Corner in the Baltimore area. She came into our room Sunday morning. Okay, at market, typically Sunday morning is the morning you get a lot of people coming back in going, we looked at our order last night, we were missing this, or you gave us too many of that, or I need one more of this, or I didn't buy enough. It's always that kind of, that's just sort of what happens. Well, Dreama walked in and she is just laughing. And we're like, okay, what's going on? So she said, how, you know, I can't even remember now what she said, but it was just so funny because she was laughing and she was finding it hard to talk. And here, let me grab this again. On our order form, she said, how, you know, are you in a good mood? Are you ready for a good laugh? And so she said, we didn't get our flamingo charts, but we did get a lot of another chart. And so she said, let's go in the back room because we kind of had some space to lay things out there. And okay, so if you look at our order forms, okay, there's the column that says, you know, what the price is. There's the column that says how many they ordered. Then there's a column where you take the price times the how many they ordered, and that's what the dollar total is. And then it goes like that. So somehow, in the hurry of getting everything done, the dollar total was like, say, 81. Guess how many bunny charts we packed for her? We packed her 81 more chocolate bunny charts, which was really kind of funny if you think about it. When you think of bunnies, what do? They multiply. Fortunately, she was very, very good-natured about it, and we were all having a good laugh because somewhere in there I thought, well, we wouldn't have had a good excuse if that had been like the flamingo chart. But bunnies, oh my gosh. So we quickly, and it was just so funny that we just opened the bag and they just kept coming and coming and coming out of the bag because they had multiplied in the bag. Anyway, sorry if you don't find that humorous. Maybe you just had to be there, but it was just funny. Yeah, bunnies were everywhere. So thank you, Dreama, at Needlecraft Corner for being so good-natured about it. Anyway, so, oh, and I'll give you while I'm talking about it, one other chart that I was able to pick up. This is Let It Snow from Tiny Modernist. I've gotten to know Cheryl from the Tiny Modernist for the last couple of years, and I have always, even before I met her, this chart came out, and it was one of those, like, I think it was in the Friday Hoffman update, and I was looking at it, and I went, I need that chart. It spoke to me on so many levels. I just loved the design and of course the colors and everything. And then when I got to know her that year at Market, I went, oh, you're the designer that did that. Oh, okay. And we have a group on Saturday night that we all get pizza and we do room tours, and that's how I found out she was the designer for this. We call her Tiny because she is tiny. She's the sweetest little thing, and we did ask her one time, do you mind that we call you Tiny? And she's no. She's so sweet. She's from Canada. I just love her designs. She has actually a couple more that she sold out of. Well, I told her jokingly, I said, I come up every year to get this chart and you're always sold out. So she brought this one specifically for me this year. So thank you. I'm going to wait a little bit to stitch it because I love it, but right now I don't want to let it snow anymore. So I'll do that later when I want it to snow, like next year. So thank you, Cheryl, for saving me my chart. So let's talk more about more designs. So another new series that I started at Market is called House on a Hill, because they all have a house on a hill in them. Pretty snazzy, huh? So we started in summer, because remember I said I'm skipping over spring. Let's just go straight to summer. So we're gonna start with Summer at the Cape. This is called the Summer Night, and each of it's the mattress style pincushion. Again, your wool is included. There's a little pattern in there to get the shape. You follow the same basic finishing instructions for the block party. So I did not do a separate tutorial for this because really it's the same finish. What is fun about these is I've chosen a verse and I've given credit to the author of that verse on each chart. But this one is, summer night has a smile of light, and she sits on a sapphire throne. I just really liked that saying. And each one, the house is a different style. So I did a Cape Cod style for the summer with our little daisies and our little whale weather vane. And then each one has had a pin mini set created for it by the Just Another Button Company ladies. And they know that's my favorite kind of flower to design. And then they made this new whale pin set, or pin in the pin mini. And so order that from your shop. And then with each one comes a bonus pattern to make a matching scissor fob. And these are that fun design where you stitch them. It's a large square, you back stitch around it, and then the four corners come up and you back stitch those together. And I just think it creates just a neat design on the back and the front, all in the same colors. So you have a nice little coordinating set. So we start, as I said, summer's at the Cape. There are 4 in all in the series, in the seasonal. So the next one will go to fall. I'll give you a hint. In the fall, we're going to a farmhouse. In the winter, we're going to a little Victorian house. And next spring, we'll end with a salt box style house. They're all stitched on 28 count. These can be stitched on an 8 or a 14 count. It would finish the same way, as would the block parties as well. And these are a mixture of Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art sampler threads, and I should have mentioned that as well. These are stitched, the meow and the wolf are stitched also on 28 count. 14 count would work just fine. It's called Beautiful Beige is the linen. All that information your shop owner has, and all the threads are Weeks Dye Works. And again, yes, I do DMC conversions in all my charts. So that kind of takes me through most of the first part of the designs. Now, of course, oh, I want to mention this too. This was really fun. I want to thank Ryan, I'm assuming that's just how you say her name. Ryan of Wild Violet Cross Stitch stopped in, and she's a new designer. And she was so sweet. She was from the Franklin area, and she brought a friend with her. And we chatted for a little bit, and they were asking us, were we going to be able to get out and experience any of the food around Franklin? And we kind of basically said, while we would love to, we're here, we're basically kind of stuck in the hotel. So the next morning she showed up with donuts from a local, I think it was called Four Daughters or Five Daughters bakery. Oh my goodness, and my husband is not a sweet eater, and I had to keep kind of going back to get a bite because he was eating them too. So anyway, Wild Violet Cross Stitch is her name, and it's her design name, and she's very sweet things. I would say her style is very modern, but I really feel like I enjoy her aesthetic, and fun designs, and she's got a really good sense of design. So I'm hoping she sticks with it, and then who knows, maybe she'll be at market next year. So a couple other new design, well, not a new designer, but Stephanie, Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb, a lot of you know her, Lindy Stitches. She also does a floss tube. This was her first year at market, and while we really haven't talked specifically about it, I could tell by the smile on her face, and she had a really great show. Her designs were well received. The shop owners visited, and the fact that I really only got to see her like once or twice meant that she was super busy, and that's always a good thing at market. So I really enjoyed seeing a lot of new designers and designers new to Nashville. That was just a treat, and also very great for our industry. Lots of floss tubers walking around, whether they came with a shop or came as a buyer because they also have a shop, was kind of fun. I shot a lot of videos when I was there. Last year I said, kind of the overall trend that, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, the trend was that you were going to see more designers doing floss tube, which I think you have. This year, it was the year of the video, and we just, I talked to so many people that, hopefully it was going to be part of their floss tube, or some was live, some was not. I did an interview with Krynick. I spent some time visiting with Doug Krynick. They did the Scary Sparkle kit or thread pack for my Scary Apothecary series. I found out a fun story from him because I have had people say to me, oh no, I don't like using blending filament. Did you use blending? No, I used all number 4 braid. It was his mom that suggested to them years ago that, well, people don't like stitching with that blending filament. She was listening to feedback apparently. And she was the one that suggested that they manufacture the number 4 braid. So yay, Mom, we got Mom to thank for that, because I really enjoyed stitching with it, and I hope you give it, I hope you use it. As I said to Doug during my interview, I really intentionally designed with the Krynick braid in mind. It wasn't I didn't want it to be like an afterthought. I really it's part of the design. So I'm hoping that you give it a try if you've not used it before and you really enjoy it. So, who else? Teresa Kogut. She's a designer that is newish. She's been doing a lot of floss tube, and they're lots of fun to watch. An immensely talented woman. I love her folk art, and I really have enjoyed watching her the part of her cross stitch art grow. And she was a very lovely person, and I'm glad we got a chance to visit. She was able to stop in. And Stephanie, different Stephanie, Stephanie from Pam and Steph. Stephanie was there helping out Barb with keepsakes, and so I got a chance to finally meet her. We've chatted before online, but never really got to meet face to face before, so that was a treat to meet her. And I know I'm probably forgetting a lot of people, and I apologize, but it was a whirlwind, and it was fun, and it was a great market, and I love what's happening in this industry right now. So one more release, and I saved it for last only because flamingos. so many flamingos. The design, you had me at flamingo. Okay, we're going to talk about this a little bit, because this was not intended to be a series. As soon as I released the photo, though, and some shops started talking about it, the Strawberry Sampler was talking about it on their Facebook group, and somebody said, what? It ends at F? She's doing more, it's a series. And Beth said, well, she didn't say it was a series. I'll get the scoop at market. No, I did not intend it to be a series. Kind of the premise behind it, I knew I wanted to do a flamingo piece because, well, I love flamingos. What can I say? I like them. And I wanted, Just Another Button Company had agreed to make more of this flamingo pin mini for market. Yes, the piece that I taught at Lindy's called Be a Pineapple is coming out next summer. So if that's what you were holding out for, you gotta wait a couple more months. But I wanted to do something else with the flamingo, and I wanted a different, tropical feel. So many things went into this piece. I knew what the piece was gonna be. I always wanted to design one of those pieces where it's A is for apple, B is for banana, C is for cat. And include buttons. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be one expensive button pack. So somehow we were playing one night with, well, what would my D be? Well, dog, E is for elephant, F is for flamingo. And all of a sudden it was like, you had me at flamingo. So that's how the name of the chart came to be. The color combination came about, but because of a stitcher, and I'm gonna shout her out a little bit here. Her name is Lee Hofstetter. She's a big contributor to, I think the woman has a motor on her needle. She's in the Hands-On Design Stitchers group. I'm so glad she likes my designs, because I just love to see how she finishes them. And she also posts quite a bit in the Stitching with the Housewives Facebook group and all over the different groups. But Lee and I have talked a little bit, emailed back and forth. We found some common ground in where we like to, our favorite beaches in North Carolina, that type of thing. And this winter she sent me, well, actually, no, it's been quite a few months ago now. She sent me a picture of where she was on vacation. And it was a photo of, it had green palm fronds kind of coming in the frame from the top, and then the blue, and then the flamingos, and then the sand, and it just, she just framed it so beautifully. I looked at that and went, that's my color palette right there. And of course, you know, it didn't have just the flamingo bodies, it had the full-on flamingo, but I had already pretty much had the design well in hand. I just was working on the color combinations, and I just really just sort of took the palette from her photo. So thanks, Lee. And it just it just kind of went from there. Now I made mine, I'm calling this the back pocket pillow. I've got a little pocket back here that I can store a small chart or scissors or something like that. And then of course, my good friend Lois of Lady Dot Creates dyed this 1/2-inch rickrack. The color is called Mingo, and I think it just goes beautifully. This is one of those color palettes I just kind of look at it and go, it's scrumptious. It's muted, but it's bright, and it's tropical, and I put this little, so I put the rickrack on so you can kind of tell where the pocket went, and then I put the little ribbon in there with a book ring. So you can dangle your thread drops or a scissor fob or something. I like things that are useful. It's a tool. It's beautiful. You can just set it somewhere, but it's also something you can tuck in your stitching bag and take with you. Pin cushion, storage, and then I made another set of scissor charms. And so we've got one of the medallions from the piece, and then we've got Mama and the baby, because you know baby flamingos are not pink. And then just another little bite from the piece with the alphabet. And the way they're finished, they're just kind of on here because, again, it's my inspiration from my bracelet, and I call them charms. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's my, oh, well, it's got pink stones in it, but there's my little flamingo charm. So, and the reason why I got that, well, for obvious reasons, but I like my flamingos. Suddenly, random flamingo things have been showing up in my life. I came back to the room, flamingo wrapping paper. Flamingo note cards. I love this one because it's blank. It's not, so great little sketchbook. Flamingo, Ray Dunn flamingo, combining two of the things that I like the most, Ray Dunn and flamingos. And then Susie from Susie, Hot House Petunia. When the person I couldn't remember her name before, the crafty, or the Cross My Heart in Ohio. This showed up, and she actually bought this several years ago, the first time I did my flamingos. Do I have the right side? That showed up in my room. I know, the flamingos, they knew where to go to my room. And then I'm going to share this because I haven't shown it before. My friend Paula recently retired, and she, when I say recently, like yesterday was her last day of work, she made me this flamingo quilt. Look at it. Isn't that awesome? So I have to hang him somewhere. And then when I left, nobody's copped to this yet. Apparently this was left on my doorstep. It's a lovely pillow. I like it. I think it's like painted on there. There was no note inside. we weren't home because we were at market, but my little neighbor girls were there, and then and the studio's in the house, so Deb was working at the studio while I was gone, and she said, somebody left this on your doorstep. And I've asked everybody, I've asked her, nobody will cop to it and say who left this on my doorstep. So if you know where I live and you live close and you want to claim that you dropped this off, just let me know. But anyway, so random flamingos everywhere. I just love it. So I do want to say one thing about the flamingo chart, you know, because nothing is complete without me making a mistake in a chart somewhere. But as far as mistakes go, this was a fairly easy one to figure out for you. Two of the symbols, two of the symbols are the same. The cadet blue and the hibiscus. Okay, they're both Weeks Dye Works color. I don't know how that one escaped us. We seriously sit down and proof all of these charts. It goes through my eyes, it goes through Deb's eyes, it goes through Bill's eyes. And the things that we're looking for now are, did I convert? You know, Bill literally sits down with the floss that I used and then a big DMC card to make sure that the blue that I chose, yes, it's the right blue, and I didn't transpose any numbers or anything like that. So we're looking at the minor details, but we failed to look at the symbol. We do look to make sure that the symbols, like generally, yes, because sometimes the computer programs will change the symbols when it goes from my computer to uploads at my printers. And so somehow we missed the open square that was cadet is also the open square that is that flamingo right there. So, like I said, as far as mistakes go, it's a pretty easy one to recognize because hopefully, even though I know it's very, very cold this winter, I don't think there are blue flamingos. And while I know a flamingo's colors are dependent on partly what they eat, I don't think there's anything out there that makes a flamingo turn blue. So I'm not a scientist. I don't play one on TV. I don't know for sure. My apologies that is an error. It has been fixed for the second printing of the chart. I will put an oopsie on my website. I've posted about it. A lot of shops have shared it. Hopefully, I think it's one that's fairly obvious. And repeat the mantra: flamingo pink, flower blue. Flamingo pink, flower blue. So, I'm sorry. I don't know. We were going so well. Anyway, so I've probably talked a long time. Oh yeah, this is going to be a long one. Sorry. But I'm going to end by saying, number one, a huge thank you. I know I said thank you to other people. And I almost forgot Deb back here at home, and she's been helping me pack like crazy, the orders before market, orders while at market, orders after market, all while hobbling around in a boot because she fell in her house and twisted her ankle and really messed up some ligaments. So she's been a trooper and just keeping this ship moving forward. And so thank you to Deb, because I know I could not do all this without her for sure. And also Stitchers. Like I said, I said it before, I love what's going on in this community right now, in this industry, and obviously without you all, we would not be doing what we're doing. So thank you. Thank you for support of my designs. I'm going to leave you with a sneak peek. It's not so much of a sneak because the picture did get out there a little bit on social media, but in case you didn't see it, I have kind of a new working relationship with another artist, and I love working with other artists. They're just, you know, obviously I've got a great working relationship with Priscilla, and I thank her for that. And also Tammy Tutoro with Tammy Tutoro Designs. This has been a little while in coming, and so this will release soon. I love her artwork. I love her aesthetic. She licenses a lot of her designs in the the scrapbooking world, dies and stamps and things like that. But this is a piece that I based on one of her stamps. It says, "What I make with my hands, I give with my heart." And it's just a sentiment that I truly love. And I surprised her at market. She knew we were working on it. She knew, I basically at one point had told her, if it's done, it's done. If it's not, I'll bring what I have and we can talk about it at market. And I sort of went a little radio silent on her, and I wanted to surprise her. She walked in the room and I had it sitting there, and she just about burst into tears. And that was the reaction what I was hoping for. I wanted just an honest, yay, I love it, or oh. But it was yay, I love it. And so we're kind of working now with, I need to chart. I wanted some feedback from shops on whether or not I should chart the bottom for cross stitch, which I will. It will be stitched with the sulky threads. I will give DMC substitutions, of course. If you've never tried the wool felt applique before, this is definitely what I would say is a beginning level. So I urge you to try it, and I'll probably do some kind of a tutorial or something with it. I feel like I love the mixed media. I love the texture of it. We even incorporated one of her little charms. We'll have those available as accessory packs. And again, my favorite finish of 2019. I just love the piece, and I think it's a great way to end this video, because what I make with my hands, I give with my heart. So thank you for sticking with me in this longish video, and I appreciate your support of my designs. I appreciate all the comments. I do try to comment on each one, or please know that I do read them all. My phone goes ping, 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 and I get them all, and I do read them, and I appreciate you taking the time to do it. So, anyway, so I think that's a wrap on Market 2019. Woohoo! And I'm gonna go, and I think it's time for more medicine. So, in the meantime, enjoy the stitch, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.